I'm going to try to be a little on the quick side, and I know you have almost no time, so just feel free to cut me off. I just had some comments about some of the prior callers. I live in Idaho, and that's one of the few states where parents can deny medical care to children and not be charged for it. And I'm one of those cases, actually.
Run away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, actually, I called the Atheist Experience, and actually, Emily is a pseudonym, and I was afraid of some things, but some family situations have worked out a little bit for the better, so I can be a little more honest on this one.
Okay.
The family, having more consensus with the family, I just want to throw, in the old times, I just want to throw out that from a female perspective, that was usually because the female was not treated as an equal, and just from a very conservative culture that I was, that my family was trapped in, and that I was raised in, not only as a female secondary, but my culture was a little bit, because they're also refugees, and they're also, everything is just kind of fucked up. But having too many daughters and not enough sons is also considered a curse, and blah, 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 and that's something I can talk about another time. But I just wanted to point out that, you know, when you're looking historically, as far as more morals and more consensus, I mean, you have to look at it as well from the Black perspective, the female perspective, the gay and transgender perspective. There's a lot of shit going on that people, that just didn't get attention because you couldn't, you know, it was a very white male-dominated world. As far as religion and harm, well, there's me, but I also work in the medical field, and I've seen patients. Obviously, I can't get into details, but I've seen patients. I work with patients who are severely injured, traumatic brain injuries, stroke, stuff like that. And I've seen patients make amazing recoveries. But I don't know how much you know. But Idaho, there's a lot of crazy religious stuff around here, and cults and things like that. And patients just make these amazing, amazing recoveries, and we work so hard with them. And their family is praying for them to get completely healed. And even though we got them walking, we got them eating regular foods, we got them talking, we got them dressing themselves and doing all sorts of amazing things that we would never, I mean, a lot of our patients, they don't even think they're going to survive, you know, and we got them going for all that stuff. And they just give up because their family they're not getting better, and the family's praying, and it can't be God, so it must be the patient.
Or even in the situations of recovery, they don't give you credit for shit. If they recover, it's Jesus, and if they don't. Yeah,
but I mean, I care less about that than, yes, I mean, we don't get any credit at all, but the patients give up, and it's just, and with Catholicism and a lot of religious stuff that's very fundamental, a lot of mental health issues, especially OCD, is encouraged as a sign that you're blessed. And so a lot of that stuff is encouraged a lot when kids are very, very young. And I guess in evangelical circles, you could see that a little bit more with the child preacher. But and where I grew up, not only was being a girl not a good sign, but if you're disabled or sick, you're considered cursed by God. And so my sister had OCD, and she had the religious version, which is very, very common. And they encouraged her over and over and over to do the prayer and to do all that kind of stuff because she could save, you know, my dad from being disabled and being cursed by God and save the family that way. You know, and she's very mentally ill right now. And that once OCD gets to a certain level, you can't, it's a lifelong condition. You can't really cure it, and the best you can do is try to control it. And she wouldn't be in that state if it wasn't for religion. And my parents, you know, at the time it was for religious reasons that I was denied medical care, a lot of medical neglect. I'm in my 20s, and I have less than a 30-year prognosis. And that's largely because I didn't get treatment early on. And even though now they're kind of on my side, which is why I can be a little bit more honest, because, religious people do troll these kind of sites. I'm sure you've gotten calls from pastors. I know the Atheist Experience has and stuff like that. So I just caution, but, now I still can't, my family still can't know that I'm sick because, I could be exorcised, I could be ousted, I could be shunned, I could be, it's the idea that it's not just, alternative medicine that hurts people, why religion is less important to deal with than those things. Just some of the topics that were brought up earlier today. Yeah. It's not just that. It's the religion. So much of the religion itself does it. And I think the biggest problem is that in most of the country, places like Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, people don't think about it. And actually, Montana is a very nice place. I've lived there for a little bit. But people they forget about that part of the country. And in such, they forget that they think that Christianity has had its nails cut off, that it's harmless now. And it's not. No. It's very, very bad still. And I'm sorry, I'm bringing the tone down, and you wanted a lighter
No.
earlier. I just wanted to comment on some of these things because I think it's important for people to realize.
And we're glad you called in to do that.
Yeah, Emily, it's not even just the. Here's our take. I'm going to speak for both of us on the tone. Is we're a community, and it doesn't matter where you are. We're here for you. And you better keep in touch because we want to talk to you. And we want you to know that no matter where you are, we support you. This isn't, that is one of the worst accusations is that atheists don't have community and we need to grow that. And I know that I want to do my part, and I know that there are so many people who are yelling at their computers right now saying, Emily, we support you, we care about you, and you just, anytime you need that affirmation, you just hop on and I'll give that to you because it's going to be okay. And
thank you.
Hopefully, we actually got an email from somebody in South America who was talking about having a similar experience. I'm not going to bring them out any more than that. I'll just say from that general area. And the thing is the best that we can hope is that no one else, the world we can try to build is one where it ends with us, where future kids don't have to go.
And like that's part of the reason why I decided to go into the medical field, because out here there's so many crazies, and so many of it is religion. And when they first were trying to figure out, when I was finally allowed to go see a doctor, I mean, they were ruling out conditions where I'd have like a 1 to 2 year prognosis. And the idea that I had was that if I'm going to die in a hospital, I don't want it to be any more stressful than the dying process is. So I wanted to work in a hospital so that I would feel comfortable dying there. And so I started volunteering, and that's when I started seeing these kids and seeing these people who, curable conditions that if you get control of early, and it's heartbreaking. And there's so few people who do it, and I am planning on escaping relatively soon because I'm burning out, but there's just so much harm. And actually, the only reason my parents turned around, I mean, they had gotten a lot of abuse too. I mean, my dad is disabled. He had polio. And so he's considered cursed by God. And my mom wanted an education, so she's considered, bad. But my sisters told my parents that if they didn't let me see a doctor, because I was having blackouts, I was having seizures, it was a mess. And they said, if you don't let her see a doctor, then you're going to lose all three of us. And that's when my family turned around. And that kind of support, having people stick together, I think we, sometimes it's depressing to look around and see how much religion is taking is getting involved in politics and healthcare and just doing so much harm. But like you said, I think if we can just, my sister's doing that, is kind of giving me a little bit of hope that if we all stick together, then maybe we can actually fix some of this.
Stick together, help each other.
So we are definitely...
I know, out of time.
But
I'll email you guys.
Well, actually, more than that. The number one, the YouTube comments are exploding. If you are comfortable with the idea of making a sock account for Facebook, something where you don't have to worry about people finding you, I know that our Talk Heathen Facebook is nowhere near as active as the official discussion group for the Atheist Experience, and I know that that's a community that I would absolutely love to see you in if you're not in it already.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. Keep in touch. I want to hear from you, or else it's going to break my heart. Okay? We're going to check back in with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you for calling in.
Can I just answer one question that was on the chat? Someone asked about, I just went to peek, someone asked about polio in the U.S. No, my parents, they immigrated. It was a version of Catholicism that came over, and they found plenty of other crazies to join over here. So
yeah, we don't have a lack of them.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, you take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.